You're listening to Cattywampus.
All right, we finally come to a character I recognize, Piccolo. Though he looks a little different than you might remember if you've only been vaguely aware of this franchise. He's old and kind of broken and has a different voice and doesn't do any of the things I recognize from, like, the 2 movies I've seen. Basically, we're doing part 1 of we're taking the King Piccolo Saga, which is sort of like the 8th season of Dragon Ball. We're cutting it into half, doing episodes 102 to 111. And this is about Piccolo Thanosing his way to get a bunch of balls to make himself younger. And it's one of the first times I've been like, yes, please let this villain get these balls to make him younger.
Not my favorite.
Brian, were you familiar with this? Like this Piccolo part? I know you're not a big Dragon Ball person, so was this like new to you, or did you know that this is how he starts?
I knew that this is how he starts, but I also know that he is nothing like the Piccolo that we are used to. He's I'm assuming I don't know 100%, but I'm assuming based on what we've watched that this Piccolo gives birth to the Piccolo that we know.
That's what I was going to ask Steve. Steve, is this Piccolo just an old version of the Piccolo we know, or is his son just a better Piccolo?
His son's just a better Piccolo, basically.
And we just come to like that other Piccolo.
Yeah, we get there.
Got it.
By the end of it, we'll get there.
So iconic Piccolo doesn't vomit eggs a bunch like this motherfucker.
He does.
Great, loved it. Can't wait for more of that. Hope that happens a bunch.
Now, but like watching this and thinking about Daima, it is a little weird to the Namekian demon. Where'd they come from? Blah blah blah. It's I don't know.
I had a few questions like that because also they don't seem to know what a Saiyan is at this stage. But given what we know else about Namex, they should definitely know what one is.
As far as I'm aware, Saiyan doesn't happen until Z.
Right, but if you think about it, like, given that there was a bunch of flashbacks about how the Namex came to, like, they should know. Like, Piccolo should know what this dude is. He should know what this kid is. Because if you think about, like, the continuity, right? Like, he should be like, oh, yeah, you're one of them. We conquered you or whatever.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't make any sense.
It's fine.
It's almost like Toriyama was making this shit up as he went.
Absolutely.
Hey, I am no stranger to the retcon. I'll start with 102. And we can kind of trade off. Goku and his friends find Krillin murdered. Right, last time on Dragon Ball, Krillin was fucking murked. And this dead child was left with all of her friends. So Goku and his friends find him. And the referee, who was left alive, says it was a monster that also took Goku's Dragon Ball and a list of tournament participants, which I guess he just had handy on him still. Very convenient. Despite Roshi's protests, Goku takes the Dragon Radar and charges off in pursuit of the killer. Judging by a crest on a paper, Roshi knows this to be the work of King Piccolo. He explains how the world suffered his carnage long ago, and how he and his master, Mutaito? Mutaito. Sorry. He and his master, Mutaito, trapped him in a jar. A lot of that going around in the show. At the cost of his own life. It turns out Emperor Pilaf released King Piccolo and is assisting him. Having learned from Pilaf about the origin of the Dragon Balls, Piccolo insists on using them to restore his youth, while continuing his plan of world conquest. Meanwhile, Goku catches up with King Piccolo's minion, Tambourine. I love how insane this is going, given that it's basically about a dead kid at this stage. But I did have a question. Did they establish how long ago Piccolo tried to invade us or this world or whatever?
Unclear.
Because like, why is Roshi the only one who? It feels like this would be a really big deal historically.
I don't know
that there was this alien.
Do
invasion.
they ever like give us ages? Because it feels like Roshi is realistically like hundreds of years old.
Yeah, I believe Roshi's extremely old, like Methuselah old.
Yeah, it's unclear if he's referring to something that was essentially Vietnam or was it like the War of 1812?
I think it was like centuries ago. I don't know. I mean, and when it shows them, they're like younger.
But it was recent enough to where there were tanks.
And cities. Yeah, I did make a note. I was like, when was this?
I mean, the wiki says long ago.
Maybe it was a Battlestar Galactica thing where it was like there was a whole civilization, everyone went to shit, and now we're back up and running.
Yeah, I mean, it had to go through the cycle again. That's why there's dinosaurs.
Yeah, and I guess because like the evil containment wave is like a move that only Roshi's master knows, but no one else seems to know. I don't know. It's a little stupid, but also, I'm a big fan of the Fantastic Four, and they defeat the Galactus with the ultimate nullifier, so I can't really throw a lot of stones. By the way,
The technique died with him.
I know, right? Yeah. Where'd he learn it from?
Probably the cat.
I mean, they did say they were going to Corrin's Tower at the end of this season, or the end of where we left off, halfway through the season. Also, anime shine on the flying Nimbus, hitting the horizon as Goku chases the murderer, and I definitely did it because I gotta tell you, there weren't a lot of anime shines after this one.
Yeah.
There were very similar sounds, but there was no shimmer, and it wasn't the same sound. And I was like, oh no, my bit is
There's
done.
not a lot of flying off into the atmosphere in this little bit of season.
To be fair, though, last season was a lot of people staring at each other, and it would just happen in their eyes. God, I fucking hate Pilaf, and the fact that he was just back and like just the number 2 to Piccolo, I was like, I can't, no. Do you know how many times I want Piccolo to eat this dude?
So if they remove Pilaf and Roshi from the show, I think you'd like it a lot more.
If they removed Pilaf, I like it a lot more. If there was a 13-episode arc where Roshi stood trial for his crimes, I would also like it. He can stay though, but I want to see him brought to justice.
Yeah.
I just find Pilaf annoying.
Well, great news. He's in a lot of this show.
Yeah, he is. Boy, he's really in this. He's really back, isn't he?
And I believe he's a big character in GT. He's a somewhat consistent character in Super.
Is GT the non-canon one?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, thank God. Thank God we can skip that if he's in that a lot.
It's been a long time, but Steve, is Pilaf and Garlic Jr. They're not the same person, but they're the same race, I'm assuming?
I'm guessing. I don't know if that's
Who's
ever expounded
Garlic?
upon.
Yeah, it's
Who's Garlic?
a movie character. Or actually,
asked.
no.
Terrified.
I think he also has a series or a season in Z later on.
So he's canon on some
Yeah.
level. I did like, the pace. Like, I will say something that I'm just going to say up front is I thought this was Steve, while I'm only brief, I'm only vaguely familiar with Dragon Ball Z. I see what you're saying. It was like, oh, we're picking up the pace. We're moving. There was no side quest, really. Like, everything's kind of moving. This is
Everything
sort of
from here on in just kind of schmoves.
Oh, this is like the Infinity Saga. This is like the Infinity Gauntlet comic or Infinity War movie, where you're just like, oh, it's just a villain collecting stuff, and the heroes are always on the back foot, which cool enough.
This was definitely I think out of all of the episodes, these 10 were like the quickest.
Yeah, they were not wasting any time. Brian, do you want to take 103?
Sure. 103, Tambourine Attacks, or the Tear of Piccolo.
Mr. Tambourine Man attacks, just like Bob Dylan foretold.
Goku engages Tambourine in combat, but is weak from hunger, and Tambourine overpowers him and destroys the flying Nimbus, leaving Goku for dead. Roshi and the others head to the Kami House, and after Tambourine hands King Piccolo the Dragon Ball and list of fighters, he is sent to kill all the fighters, starting with King Choppa. That's a very short description.
Not a lot happens in that episode.
Yeah, it's...
Well, yeah, it's a pretty focused, quick one. There's a lot of fighting, but it didn't feel like it was going on too long. Like, it really moved for me. Although I did have a question, Steve. Is this what you're referring to about the flying Nimbus getting destroyed again?
Correct.
Or does it happen yet again?
Nope. This is the fly. Yeah, this is the Nimbus being dead.
Oh, this is like when Captain America's shield shatters. This is it's so dramatic. So, I also thought it was funny that Mr. Dragon Man or Mr. Tambourine Man, whatever, he states, "I've never seen anyone bald act so brave," referring to Krillin. His race does not have hair, and he was presumably recently birthed. Why does he understand this concept?
A wizard did it.
Or more to the point, are there any Nameks that end up having hair? Do we see a haired Namek?
No, I don't want to.
No.
Is this like a Bowsette situation where like there's a female Namek and they're hot inexplicably because this show is perverted?
Nope. All Nameks are male. Well, technically genderless.
I gotta be honest. Seems like a dropped ball on these perverts' parts, given all the other things they're willing to do.
No, you get hot green people later in Super.
I got Star Trek for that.
Yeah, I'm about to say Kirk already got us covered.
I also thought it was funny that Roshi's like a forensic expert because he like there's a small scene where he determines how Krillin was killed with one kick to the head, which I'm not sure how he knew it. I think this is the last anime shine because it does happen on Mr. Dragon Man's eyes after Goku's like, "You killed my best friend," and he went, "Right, got it." And there was an anime shine, and then they fought. I think that's it, and I definitely did it. The joke's over. I did it, and because they kind of stop after this.
I'm assuming, I don't know, he would probably know what a dead, kicked head person looks like because he's done it multiple times.
How many men has Roshi murdered? Or boys, given that he's looking at a child's body?
Probably a lot.
How many boys are in his crawl space in that island?
Or underneath the island.
It's very convenient they had to leave the island and move the house later, because that evidence is gone now. Or maybe it's in a capsule, only to be unearthed later.
Where do you keep your bodies?
In my crawl space, I measure my crawl space by size of boy.
Fair.
Some people use square footage. I tell everyone I have a 24-boy house. I'm a real Master Roshi.
You're on a list now.
I was on a list a long time ago for other reasons. Hey, I got news for you. Killing small boys, that's not going to get you on any list in this current administration.
That's true.
If any fate, I'll be elected. If any fate, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm the head of the ATF? What happened? Steve, you want to take 104?
All right.
Before I spiral into depression about the reality I just revealed to myself again.
While Tambourine kills fighter after fighter around the world, leaving the mark of the demon behind, King Piccolo creates and sends a new warrior called Symbol to gather the remaining Dragon Balls. Goku wakes up and tries to look for food. Roshi plans to move the island somewhere else once Bulma makes another Dragon Radar. Goku finds a fish cooking and eats it. When he's finished, he vows revenge. Suddenly, a mountain man emerges from the thickets mad that Goku ate his fish.
I'm also, you know what this did open with? Because one of the things that these descriptions are missing is that, I think they say it in, like, Tana, but there's these kind of cold opens or cutaways where Mr. Tambourine Man, Mr. Dragon Man, is going around killing all of these characters we've actually seen before. And I gotta tell you, pretty gratifying to watch the Stinky Man murdered.
Poor
that's who he kills, right?
Yeah, he kills Bacterian.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Stinky Man.
It's a weird intro. I was not expecting to see him again.
Yeah, we see one guy at the end in the last episode that I was kind of like, I think we've seen that guy before. I don't really recall. So the last episode ended with like a boxer, I think, right? And there's like some woman in the crowd being like, love his eyebrows, and then Dragon Man, Tambourine Man's like, murdered you. Anyway, bye everybody, and leaves Madison Square Garden, which feels like it should cause some kind of incident or something. And then this one's the Stinky Man. And it's kind of a litany. You know, it's some fun continuity. I actually do appreciate that attention to detail of like, hey, you know, we're going to revisit a bunch of people and kill them off and kind of feels like a little bit of a resetting for, obviously they probably know Z is coming at this point if they're making the show the way they're making it, given that Z, there's no break between this and Z. So I assume they're kind of like prepping, kind of clearing the board. But I don't know, how sad were you that the Stinky Man died?
Crestfallen.
I was fine. just surprised he was back.
Also, I believe is this where he pulls Symbol, right? So this is where he vomits the egg.
Yes.
Yep.
And I gotta tell you, that has so many implications. So is his mouth? Is it like a worm's, where it's every orifice is his mouth? Like, because presumably he eats through it, and if he reproduces through it, that means he does everything. I mean, like,
have we seen in this show how they regrow limbs and everything, or no?
Nope.
Okay.
Not yet. No, none of them do it in this. But
yeah, I mean, the Namecs are just kind of, I guess, lizard-esque.
They're lizard worm people.
Kinda, yeah.
Where no matter what you do to them, like, because I think they look reptilian, but if they only have the one orifice that does everything, like reproduce and you eat,
Oh, yeah,
which probably means you defecate through it. Like it's like a cloaca, but it's your mouth. And also,
Unfortunately.
if you keep surviving despite limbs being lost, that means they're more of a worm.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Look, I'm just trying to get the one biology class. I'm just trying to get my money back for it. And the only way I can do it is give you these facts. Oh, also, sorry, fairies are real in this universe? There were fairies in this
Everything is real in this universe.
My God.
If you can imagine it, it's here.
This is like a James Gunn Superman movie. Everything counts. Also, I don't like that Goku was just going to eat a nursing kangaroo.
I feel like when he's hungry, he doesn't care what it is. Like, all emotion, all feelings are gone.
It's just hard to sympathize
Yeah.
with someone being like, I'm going to eat a kangaroo and their kid in the pouch. I'm like, buddy, you're the hero, right? Like, also, I'm 99% sure this will be the photo I put on Instagram, but the vision of skeleton Krillin was pretty great. There's like this montage, and there's a vision of Krillin, and it's a skeleton, and he becomes frustrated that his friends won't bring him back.
A lot of the scenes with Krillin's body were very strange to me.
Yeah, but they have this like vision. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna for fun. I'm just gonna put it in the chat for fun. Just so we can all kind of just go, yeah, there it is. Horrific. That's a child.
With no nose.
Well, yeah, that's how skeletons work, Steve. I hate to break it to you.
Well, no, I mean, there's no hole there for it either.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're right. Oh, God, that's horrific. I didn't even clock it. I've been looking at this image. I photoshopped this image to make it Instagram ready. I've been staring at this image for hours. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Now I'm questioning his entire anatomy. Why are his arms so stubby? Oh, no, this is all wrong.
He's a strange boy.
Also, his ribs seem to end above the waist belt, but what's the belt attached to then if there's no ribs below? Oh my God, this is horrific. It's like when people do those memes of like, here's what like, I don't know, like, you know, here's what like a Sesame Street or Muppet skeleton would look like. You'd be like, Jesus Christ, get it away. Like, Anyway, I guess we should move on now that I've been horrified into a coma. Oh, Steve, you're gonna give me nightmares. You've revealed something to me I can't unsee.
You're welcome.
God, can I take the red pill? Is it too late? Or the blue pill? Whichever one. What's the non-fascist one? Anyway.
Just take both and see what happens.
Yeah, Dude, that is a good question. What happens in the Matrix if you take both pills? If you just snatch them out of Morpheus's hand and he was like, gulp?
I'm assuming they would cancel each other out.
That, or maybe it's the worst of both worlds, because I believe they mentioned the red pill is how they track them. So it's like he takes the blue pill, basically roofies himself, wakes up back in his own bed, and then is ripped out of the Matrix and doesn't understand why. Because he doesn't remember any of this.
Maybe that should have been the fourth movie.
I like the fourth movie. I'm a fourth movie defender. I know. Everybody hates it. Anyway. Now that we have that Matrix palette cleanser after the horrific Krillin skeleton. Check Instagram. 105. Goku fights with Yajirobe, who proves to be a skilled and tough fighter. Roshi finds a safe haven for his friends and sets out with Tien and Shiatsu, Clown Child, to find the Dragon Balls and stop King Piccolo. By the way, real quick, what's he king of? It's only now occurring to me. That's not even a note I had. Is he literally the ruler of the Namex?
No, he was just referred to himself as Demon King Piccolo, so I don't know if...
He's a king of the demons.
Yeah, I don't know if he was...
That we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually was ever the actual ruler, or if he was just some asshole that declared himself king.
Aren't all kings just that? Steve,
that's fair.
Aren't all kings just assholes who declare themselves kings? Look, maybe it's a lineage thing, but you take it back at a certain point.
No,
even back through every lineage.
No,
it's
you're
just
right.
some asshole who declared himself king. Piccolo's a trailblazer. He's Bulma preserves Krillin in a freezing capsule. Goku accuses Yajirobe of assisting Tambourine, but eventually learns that Yajirobe is not lying and never steals. Symbol appears, eyeing Yajirobe's Dragon Ball. After a game of rock, paper, scissors, Yajirobe fights Symbol, culminating in Yajirobe killing the monster by slicing him in half. At that moment, King Piccolo feels the presence of Symbol's death. So is Yajirobe, is he sticking around past this saga?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I don't remember him in the movies.
Yeah, he was in the Broly movie, I thought.
I just don't, maybe he was at the cookout. I just don't remember him if he was.
I could be wrong, but I feel like almost everybody was at that cookout.
Okay. His English dub voice sounds like a Ninja Turtle who's fallen on hard times.
I mean, he essentially is a Ninja Turtle that
surfer.
fell on hard times.
Yeah.
Which in a way I guess
Yeah.
is really just the voice of Otto from The Simpsons. Which is like also what
Yeah.
he kind of sounded like.
He's not in Daima, is he?
I don't remember him. Again, I don't remember him at the cookout.
No, I don't think
At
he
that
is.
cookout,
kinda
sorry,
wanna-
there's multiple cookouts. Goku loves a cookout.
I kind of want to know what like babyfied Yajirobe would have looked like.
To quote comedian writer comedian Demi Adejowibe, Goku's invited to the cookout. He had a whole routine about who's what cartoon characters are invited to the cookout. I believe Goku was invited to the cookout. And
I feel like Goku wouldn't be. He would eat all their damn food.
No, but it feels like he's throwing a lot of cookouts. Also, does Bulma's family is Bulma's family also in the cryo freezing business, or is this just something she kind of figured out as a side hustle real quick?
It's kind of implied they basically do anything and everything, medical science or otherwise.
Is Bulma? It feels like Bulma's the prequel to the mom character in Futurama.
And
Her
she's
mom,
just the stereotypical super scientist of like she can
Yeah.
just do anything.
Yeah. It's also weird when Krillin's quote unquote friends just start laughing as they put his corpse into this fucking cryo freeze.
Because he's going in the panty drawer.
That is a very weird scene.
What a psychotic, what a Tommy Wiseau The Room-esque scene. We're just like, what is happening?
I hated the smile on his face when they're like putting his body in this little pod.
Yeah, he's got to have rigor mortis. Did somebody do that to him? Somebody make him smile? I bet it was
Like,
Roshi. That bastard.
That is the happiest he's ever been.
Also, weird question. Is Dynamite in Rock, Paper, Scissors? Is that like a cultural thing? Is that a joke? I actually couldn't quite follow that.
You never had that?
Describe that.
Like it
Elaborate.
I don't know, like on the the playground of my youth, people liked to cheat by saying dynamite and then saying they would win no matter what.
No. I think I was thrown also by the fact that the Mr. Dragon Man says Dynamite always wins, like he knows the game. And I'm like, wait, does your race have this game as well? No, I didn't have that. But also, like, I don't know. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but as a kid, I don't remember actually playing rock, paper, scissors a lot. I know it happened, but it was not a frequent thing that happened.
I don't know if maybe it was involved in Pokemon cards or maybe it was involved in like other games we were playing on the playground, but I was in like I was in our school's after school program. So I played a lot of playground games and a lot of rock, paper, scissors, and Dynamite was absolutely a thing. And it was, you were kind of the shitter if you did it. Like, all right, I'm not going to play with you anymore. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Well, yeah, because it's cheating, because the game's called rock, paper, scissors. Those are the three options.
There are other options too that people made up.
Well, I mean,
I cannot remember what they are.
To be fair, it's all made up.
Yeah. I'm just remembering like people would always come up with all kinds of shit.
I mean,
to get out of
it's
it.
occurring to me now I was an indoor kid, and so maybe I just didn't have enough interaction to really get the handle on.
I feel like I did the opposite. I was an outdoor kid and I became an indoor kid.
Yeah, same.
Interesting.
At some point, I got declawed.
You got declawed? For risk of feline HIV, Steve and David were kept inside.
Too many kids pulled dynamite. I said, fuck that. I'm staying home.
Steve and I, we caught too many mouses, and
we were negatively impacting the local environment.
Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. The last bit I had about this before we move on is I thought it was really funny that Goku, he has like a staff, but it's interesting he's never thought to get a sword and just like use it, because I guess these guys, you can just cut them. You just cut them open and just be like, well, that's it. Yajirobe did it. Yajirobe's lesson to Goku: stab people. It'll work.
Did he not?
It's
all blending together.
I don't think Goku's
Did he
had a
not
bladed
cut off
weapon.
a dragon's? Did he not cut off a dinosaur's tail?
I think he ripped it off. I don't think.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Goku's held.
No, you're confusing him and Gohan.
Yeah, I just for some reason I know that at some point Goku has eaten dinosaur meat. I just couldn't remember what he did to
he's
get that
flat
meat.
out killed and cooked a dinosaur in this show, but
Yeah.
But I don't think he's ever held a bladed weapon, which I think is interesting. Because it's like Yajirobe's like, I'll just slice this dude in half and it works, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that works, cool. Guess that's what we should do. Brian, you want to take a?
I think if you give Goku a sword, it changes the whole tone of the show, and then we just lose it.
I mean, it's also very interesting that even with his staff, he doesn't really use the staff to like bludgeon people often.
No, he uses
very,
it like as a tool.
Yeah, it's Brian, we were texting about this earlier. It's about that. It's the Tom Holland thing where it's like, Kevin Feige talked about with Tom Holland Spider-Man is like, Spider-Man, you don't really want him just punching people. So like until Spider-Man No Way Home, Tom Holland's always swinging around using webs, accidentally falling into people. Like Tom Holland doesn't stand there and just start hitting human beings, because it's just doesn't feel very like fun and adventure-y and Spider-Man-y. And they save it till No Way Home until like Willem Dafoe kills May, and then he actually starts like hitting Willem Dafoe, and you're like, oh, that's different, because like he's just not that guy. And it's the same with Goku. It's like you don't want Goku just being like, I'll just bludgeon the shit out of an innocent person, like not innocent, but like a helpless person, whether they've committed an evil deed or not. You just don't want to watch someone overpowered beat the shit out of anybody. Zack Snyder.
And I feel like, at least from the anime I've seen from this same time period, most anime was a guy with a sword killing the shit out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in comparison, this is what made it stand out.
Yeah, again, it's that Superman comparison. You just don't want to watch somebody that altruistic and optimistic and powerful just start hitting someone with their fist in a way that isn't, in this show it's a little different because like there's sparring and combat, and it's all like not in good fun necessarily, but like it's like this is a martial arts tournament. We're not here to kill each, like it's really different to watch him like in the wild be like punch in the face, I want to kill you. You're like, that's you gotta work toward that and have that, like, that's gotta be motivated. You can't just have him be that, because then he's just a reckless psychopathic god alien.
Right.
So you gotta avoid that. He's not likable if he does that. Brian, you want to take 106?
All right, episode 106, Terrible Tambourine. King Piccolo is furious about Symbol's death. Tambourine next targets Jiren and goes after the next name on his list, Yamcha. Goku requests Yajirobe's Dragon Ball, explaining their powers to him. Tambourine finds Yamcha, but before he can kill him, King Piccolo telepathically orders him to find Symbol's killer. Master Roshi procures one of the Dragon Balls, and Goku declares his intention to use the Dragon Balls to resurrect Krillin.
Is it Jiren or is it Giron? I
think it was Gear.
It's probably
I think it was Giron.
I just know him as Dragon Trenchcoat Man. It's like big dinosaur trenchcoat monster.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the trenchcoat here, but he had the trenchcoat in that one season. That was awesome. One of the tournament seasons. And he had like a fedora at the time. He was in disguise, like the Thing.
He was Ben. He was Ben Grimm.
Yeah. I also wish Launch at one point uses an Uzi and just opens fire on Symbol, or not Symbol, on Tambourine. And I kind of wish it would work the way like Yajirobe's sword did. Like, I kind of like the idea that these Nameks invaded so long ago that just weren't basic weapons. That now they're like, I just thought it would be a funny like twist of like, oh, you could just kill them. It's like like season. I was kind of hoping it was like season 2 of, I think it's the second season of Buffy, where this very ancient immortal demon is brought together piece by piece. There was like a chaotic ancient battle. They severed all of his limbs and head and took all the body parts of different parts of the world, and the evil vampires brought it back together. I think Angel did, because he was evil at the time, and like put him back together. And he ends up like, he comes into Sunnydale, and he's like, I'm here to conquer. And what Buffy has done is just gotten a rocket launcher from the local military base, and the guy's like, no weapon on earth can kill me. And then Caesar goes, what's that? And he gets hit by the rocket and he's killed. Because at the time, there just wasn't a weapon to destroy him. And I kind of was hoping that that's where they were going when Yajirobe like killed one with a sword, where it's like, oh, they're like, they've been around, they've been gone for so long, like they actually are somewhat easy to kill. Unfortunately, it does seem like bullets don't work in this world at all.
No.
I don't know why anyone has them.
It's every once in a while I feel like a human gets shot and maybe does.
One time it has happened so far on the show, I think. Or twice.
Yeah,
Twice it's
but
happened.
otherwise guns just don't matter.
Yeah. I don't know why the scientists made them.
Maybe they're not real bullets. Maybe everybody just has rubber bullets.
It's all blanks. People are like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I also like that the creepy clown child, at one point, Roshi and Tien are like at like a big like iceberg, and they're like destroying the ice. And at one point, the creepy clown child's in the background, and he just spikes the camera. He's just staring directly at the camera as everyone else is looking at the iceberg. And I was like, why is this happening? You have to animate it that way.
He was staring at you.
It's not a real actor. You had to animate it to look like that. This feels intentional.
I didn't see that scene. I think he was looking at you, David.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah. Oh, you all don't remember when the creepy clown child looked at the camera and whispered 7 days? Did that happen to you?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I came home and the creepy clown child looked at me and went, theater.
All right, so Master Roshi drives a hard bargain with pirates on a land battleship in order to get another Dragon Ball. Yajirobe refuses to hand Goku his Dragon Ball, who won't leave Yajirobe till Tambourine finds them. They both stop at a river, exhausted from their long run. During the search for another Dragon Ball in a town, Tien comes across an old rival he had previously broken the leg of in a fight. Tien tries to ask nicely for the Dragon Ball, but the man refuses. Several soldiers storm the house thinking Tien is the killer of the martial arts finders, but Master Roshi convinces them they're mistaken. The man forgives Tien and offers to give him the Dragon Ball. Tambourine finds Yajirobe, and Goku catches up to ready to take revenge.
This opening pirate thing was
so random.
Did the Waterworld filmmakers see this scene? Also, tell me everything about the lion/bear pirate king.
I feel like this is the only time you're ever going to see him.
Yeah, that's lame.
Yeah. I feel like all your favorite characters are here for a moment and then they're gone.
I do think Dragon Ball, as it's gone on, and from what I understand from you guys, Z is going to lessen this kind of creative, crazy characters in the background. This is like Star Wars, where it's just like, who's that guy? Who's that guy? wait, go back. Where's his toy? Where's his comic book tie-in? Like,
it's a good thing Disney doesn't have Dragon Ball Z yet. To
be fair, that was Star Wars way before Disney. Lucas was like, they can be a toy. Oh, don't worry. They'll have a book trilogy.
Can't wait to read The Adventures of Glup Shitto.
Yes. I was hoping to make an Andor-style, hard-hitting, The Wire-esque drug drama about Elon Sleazebagano, who tried to sell Obi-Wan those death sticks. Because he's a drug dealer.
I don't think I've ever heard his name before.
Elon Sleazebagano. There's a toy.
Fantastic.
Do you own it?
No, I don't. Actually, don't know. Star Wars is never. It's not.
All right, we got a new Christmas present.
What am I gonna do with an Elon sleazebag in toy?
You can put him next to your Bacterian figure.
Ugh. Yeah. In the trash can, I can put them both. I also I did like this TN backstory, by the way. You know, and you guys had mentioned, or I think Stevie had mentioned, oh yeah, we're gonna really like get into this guy's like deal, and it's interesting that he's been an interesting character. That he's kind of like not conflicted, but he's like really questioning. Maybe I've gone down the wrong path here, and this is a time to relearn some unlearn some bad lessons and relearn some new ones from Roshi, and hopefully he doesn't take on the sex pest stuff from Roshi, but otherwise it seems like he's getting some greater good energy, in the kind of stoic fighter.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun episode. I do like seeing their like, I don't know. It felt like an old, like Chinese martial arts film or whatever. It did have. Yeah, good call. It did have that wuxia vibe. It had that 70s wuxia vibe. Totally. Like, all right, let me see here. So 108. As Roshi follows a Dragon Ball in motion, Goku begins his fight with Tambourine, immediately overwhelming him. Tambourine fires an incinerating beam at Goku, but he evades it and kills him with a Kamehameha wave. In midair, sensing Tambourine's death, Piccolo decides to deal with Goku himself. Roshi and Tien find a fourth Dragon Ball in a cave, tangled with crows. Piccolo decides to wait for all other Dragon Balls to be gathered as he gets closer to Goku's location. This episode opens with a clip show of Roshi just remembering the show, which was kind of weird.
Animation's expensive.
You know what it is? I understand that part. What it ends up effectively being is Roshi being like, remember all the boys I collected? And this is where I really did start to question, like, the Nameks, I guess this is the retcon. The Nameks don't seem to know about the Saiyans at this stage. I did like that Tien almost pulled, like, they're flying in and the crows hit him. It was very Sully, Miracle on the Hudson, the rehearsal Evanescence Bring Me to Life style. And it happened when a flock of crows attacked the ship.
109, Goku vs. King Piccolo. Roshi is on the verge of getting the 5th Dragon Ball. Pilaf's ship lands near Goku and Yajirobe. Recalling King Piccolo, Yajirobe hands Goku the Dragon Ball and hides. King Piccolo jumps down to face Goku. Goku uses his speed to land a few hits on King Piccolo, but it is not enough against King Piccolo's counterattack. King Piccolo stuns Goku. Roshi procures the 5th Dragon Ball, but drops it down a canyon. After a long fight, King Piccolo fires several explosive beams at Goku. And when Goku's Kamehameha fails, King Piccolo prepares to finish him off.
I'm going to call him a pterodactyl-styled servant of Piccolo. Like, he's been around the whole time, but watching them, like, really take center stage and kind of become this weird kind of commentator from the ship's hull at the railing with Pilaf and Pilaf's friends. So is it... Do the Nameks have different like species? Because like some of them, like Tambourine and Symbol look relatively similar, but then there's like this pterodactyl dude. Do we like see any of these like kinds of variations in other Nameks?
No, this is one of those things that they don't really explain it. It's just that's a thing.
Going back to Lord of the Rings, this feels like Dragon Ball is the Hobbit to the Dragon Ball Z Lord of the Rings, where it's like, some of that I'm not really going to keep up with. Like, some of that I'm going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Also, it was, I will say, pretty shockingly harrowing to watch Goku actually get, like, injured, because it's basically watching an old lizard man just hurt a child.
Maybe that's why they age him up after this. Or I'm assuming the age up comes soon, at least.
Well, they've already aged him up 3 years. They haven't changed much in the style of the character, but supposedly he's 14, 15 right now.
I know at some point in this series he will look older.
Yeah. Although I thought it was worth noting that Piccolo seemed afraid that Goku could do the containment wave, which I wasn't sure if that meant something, where it's like, oh, interesting, he thinks this kid might know how to do. I don't know if that meant anything. I just thought, I was like, oh, interesting.
I think it's just an allusion to the fact that Piccolo is just super paranoid in his old age.
Yeah.
He knows he's diminished. He knows that he's been beaten once before when he was at his
Right.
peak.
So in the flashbacks, he looked similar in age. Is the implication he aged in the jar more?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, I guess a lot of this is sort of like not going to be paid off since Piccolo Jr. is a, God help me, egg that births out of him. Yeah, okay. So is there a distinction between like him birthing asexually another Namek versus these like minions?
I don't think so.
So it's going to be another egg vomit to get the Piccolo we know and love.
Yep.
Radical. Episode 110.
Yep. After a few more hits, King Piccolo critically wounds Goku with one of his most powerful beams and takes his Dragon Ball. King Piccolo makes his way to get the rest of the balls. In his state, Goku requests that Yajirobe take him to Korin Tower. Meanwhile, Chaozu finds the 5th Dragon Ball. Roshi decides to head to King Piccolo to get the other 2 balls. Roshi takes to the ground and hides the Dragon Balls he collected. King Piccolo swallows his 2 balls, thwarting Roshi's plan.
More mouth stuff.
Yep. To prevent Tien from fighting, Roshi paralyzes him. King Piccolo jumps down to face Roshi.
I did have a question about the Korin Tower thing. Yajirobe stole a car, I guess?
That's the implication. They really don't explain the car.
Cool. This is going to be one of those David can't understand the world things and it's going to break his brain. How do driver's licenses work in this?
Not well.
You'll find out.
How
You'll
does
find out in Z.
Yajirobe know how to drive a car?
Who knows?
Okay, so why did Piccolo eat the Dragon Balls?
To make sure Roshi couldn't take them from him.
Well, 1, it means I have to watch him vomit them. 2, just put them in your ship and make the ship go. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, but then he doesn't get the
guess
fun
this
of
is just-
vomiting them back up.
You're right. And we do
You don't
miss
like-
that fun. You're right.
You don't like Dragon Ball body horror?
I fucking hate watching. I don't even have like some. It's not like in other media I've ever been freaked out when somebody vomits something. I don't know, there's just something about this Piccolo animation where I'm like, I don't care for this.
It's very visceral.
It's yeah, it is.
Yeah. Also, I did think it was really funny when Tien screamed like he's ready, and he ripped off his shirt. And all it can make me think of is in, I think it's the second Twilight movie where Jacob has to run up to Bella after she gets slightly injured from a small motorcycle like incident, and he screams, "You're hurt," and rips his shirt off to make a tourniquet. That's all I can think of. It was just so funny the way Tien was like, "I can do it," just rips his shirt off. I won't need this for fighting. So I guess Tien is both the Batman and the Jacob of the series, is what I'm saying.
I don't know if I would compare him to that. Maybe the Jacob,
I would. I've done it.
but I don't.
It's too
I don't
late.
think he falls in. I don't think he falls in love with a child.
That's true.
I'm sorry. Can you explain the fucking clown child next to it? Gentlemen,
I don't know.
gentlemen, I think we're forgetting
David,
someone.
that's not love, that's lust.
I don't know that they.
Welcome to Jacob's. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen of the Jura, I rest my case. Like, I'm sorry, that clown child that is unsettled.
He's not going anywhere. You're stuck with him.
Fucking great. I'll tell you what. He creeps me the fuck out. I would take him in every episode if you promised me I never had to see Pilaf again, because he just aggravates me. I'd rather be disturbed than aggravated.
You do go a very long period of time without seeing Pilaf again.
Is it forever?
Do Chaozu and Pilaf interact?
I hope
very
Chaozu
often?
unhinges his jaw and just eats Pilaf.
I don't think they ever have any interaction.
I feel like they don't interact.
If Chiatsu unhinges his jaw and eats Pilaf in this show, my current television show rankings will go Mad Men, Battlestar Galactica, Dragon Ball. Then whatever
You will buy the
fuck
Blu-ray
else.
box set.
I just don't think that I'm going to get what I want. So we're wrapping up this cliffhanger. Episode 111. Roshi tells King Piccolo where the Dragon Balls are, but knowing full well that he is no match for the king, he has no wish to fight and toys with Piccolo instead, enduring the pain he receives. King Piccolo doesn't recall meeting Roshi before until Roshi mentions Mutaito, correct?
Yep.
Great. And grows fearful as he realizes that realizes what Roshi is here to do. Roshi takes a special jar out of a capsule and unleashes an evil containment wave. King Piccolo attempts to resist. Unfortunately, Roshi misses at the last second and dies. Just dies. King Piccolo unites all 7 Dragon Balls and summons the Eternal Dragon, our favorite character, Shenron. I do like that Roshi's tactic, instead of fighting him, was just giving Piccolo PTSD.
It's weird that Piccolo didn't seem to even bother trying to stop it. He just kind of... I understand the PTSD, but also, like, maybe...
I guess he's just so
I don't
afraid
know,
of it.
do
which,
anything
fair
other than
enough.
just stand there?
I don't think the show has the full emotional
He-
bandwidth to really get all these moments. Like,
Yeah, he didn't even look really concerned, like, while he was kind of powering up for it. He only looked concerned, like, once it started. He had a lot of time to, like, get in there and stop it.
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously, like,
Maybe it was arrogance. He was
Yeah,
just kind of
yeah.
like, you can't do this. Oh, shit, you can do this.
unfortunately, the Piccolo character doesn't seem to have a lot of range at this stage. This Piccolo.
No.
I do have obviously it's been several years. And eventually on the show, we'll probably get to it years from now. Is James Marsters playing this version of Piccolo in the movie? Is this the tone he's taking?
I don't remember. I don't remember it, like, being anything like anything I'd ever seen before.
I
It
never
was just
saw
very
the movie, so
Oh, that's right. Look
All
forward.
right, so it's our next episode.
Not our next one. Though to torture you, Brian, I might make it our break between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. No.
I mean,
No.
I've only seen it the one time. I saw it opening day, and I don't remember really anything about it other than
I saw it
laughing the
on.
whole time.
I saw it. I rented it from Netflix while in college after it came out with a bunch of roommates, and I'll be honest. By the end, we were pretty blitzed because what are we supposed to do? Continue watching?
I can't remember if it's a fun bad movie.
I would be curious to know that too. I do think a lot of that has to do with time, because often what happens with bad movies is a quaintness develops as time passes, because part of that's just sort of like, was that movie 2009?
something like that.
Like we're 15 plus years away from it. And now we're like, oh, remember when movies were like this? As opposed to at the time where you're like, this is so frustrating because every bad movie's like this. But now bad movies are bad in such a different way that you're like, oh, isn't that quaint? It's harder to be angry at a bad movie after a certain amount of time because you're like, movies just aren't like this anymore, regardless of whether they're good or bad. So you're just like, oh, there's like a novelty to it where I think Dragon Ball might have that entertainment value where like, boy, no movie's bad like this movie is bad. This is just not a thing like that you've ever seen before. No, I don't think it's going to be entertaining like The Room or, I don't think it's going to be like that level,
It feels like it's probably similar to, like a lot of the other Netflix anime adaptations. And that same, like Cowboy Bebop, I guess.
My guess it's going to be
Whereas-
closer to something like Bulletproof Monk or, I don't know, like, oh God. You know what it might be a lot like? Remember that Kurt Wimmer movie Ultraviolet with Mia
Ugh.
Jovovich, where it's all green screen for reasons you can't understand? Yeah.
I
Although my guess
thankfully
is
have never actually seen it. I've seen scenes, but I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't look, guys. We'll find out. But first, final thoughts on this cliffhanger, this Infinity War style snap, and this wish that's coming. Question: Steve, does he wish for youth, or does he throw us a curveball and wish for something else?
Nope, he wishes you get exactly what you expect out of this.
He's a true Thanos. Our next one's gonna be part 2 of the King Piccolo saga. It's gonna be episode 112 to 122, so similar length. Brian, you seem a little bit more up on this than our previous seasons. Yeah, very
It's
good.
still just okay.
I'm not.
I liked the pacing of this. I liked that it moved. I didn't feel like I was just like waiting for something to happen.
I'm very curious to see how different Dragon Ball actually is from this.
Yeah, we're not too far away.
We're not too far away. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm having a blast. Maybe it's just because Brian's suffering. I don't know. I can't tell you.
It doesn't hurt.
Can't be honest.
I mean,
you know.
I am glad to have finally witnessed all of this.
Dragon Ball or me watching Dragon Ball or both.
Both.
Yeah. Fair
It's
enough.
also it is hilarious to me. One of my employees has been watching Dragon Ball Z, and it's his first time ever seeing
and you
it.
turned your chair around, sat down backwards on it, turned your hat backwards, and went, "Hey, kids,
Listen,
let's
kid."
rap. You know what's really good? Dragon Ball, no Z."
So I said to him, "Oh, you're watching Dragon Ball?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's my first time watching it." I think he's like 20.
Okay.
And so he's into anime, and his friend recommended Z. And I was like, "Oh, are you going to start with, or did you watch Dragon Ball, or are you starting with Z?" And he basically said, "Oh, God, no. I'm not watching that."
I am so fascinated with this. Having seen snippets of both, the idea that one of these is unacceptable and the other one is on.
Yeah, that's a little.
Like, I get that there are differences, but we're not talking like. I mean, we're not talking. It's not like.
I think
like,
it's.
it's
I
not
think
like,
it is.
no, I'm not watching Smallville. I'm watching The Wire. We're not talking like we're not like.
I don't know. I think it's very different.
It's more like no, I'm not watching Smallville, or it's more like no, I'm not watching Lois and Clark. I'm watching Smallville, and I'm like, well, I mean,
There has to be, outside of
one's a
it
little better, but let's
releasing-
not get crazy.
outside of it releasing, obviously we've talked about this. Dragon Ball came sort of after Z,
In America,
but we're now so far removed from the release. People are still watching Z. People are not watching Dragon Ball, and I know it's also not reproduced as well. Like, we don't have a Blu-ray box set for Dragon Ball.
no,
but, like,
it's just
there-
not as prevalent here.
There has to be a reason for that outside of just the release date. People talk about Z way more often.
Obviously, like, having not seen all of Z, I think a lot of that is marketing. Like, I think a lot of that is just one was available for a decade and popular, and one wasn't. And in this country, I'd be curious to know actually, in Japan, what is it just like? Now, granted, it aired weekly and never stopped. Maybe it's just a seamless experience to everybody over there. Who
They tried.
I think it is.
we're
They
just like,
tried
yeah, there's no
here.
different. Like, what are you talking about? I watched the whole thing. Oh, they added a Z at the end. Great. Like, whatever. Like,
It still has the Z. Like, that is the only difference. Like, the manga, I think, just kind of continues, but there are they're different books.
It's interesting. It's just so interesting because like the show never stopped airing. Like, it just was 1 week, Dragon Ball ends, the next week Z begins. So I am so curious about that. I think more than anything, I'm very excited to get to that transition at the end of the next saga, the Piccolo Junior saga. What is the last episode, and what is the next episode of which is Z, first episode of Z, and they aired a week apart. I'm really curious to see how that goes.
It's jarring. It's not a seamless transition. It is
Which is so interesting
kind of
because when you watched it at the time, originally, you would have literally 1 week. It would have been 7 days of difference, which is crazy.
At least to me, it was jarring. I guess it sort of makes sense, but it's one of those, we're ending it with this. Bye. And then all of a sudden, it's, Dragon Ball Z. It's 5 years later.
I wonder if it's kind of like a comic book thing where sometimes like a run ends and then now they do this less nowadays, but like it used to be, Frank Miller left Daredevil. And then next month, somebody else who was definitely not Frank Miller jumped on Daredevil. And you were probably like, what the hell just happened? Except in this case, it's the same creator, right? It's the same people.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I mean, there's a clear demarcation between the two. Like, Dragon Ball ends. They give you a the end, but it's a very weird way to end it.
I believe the English translation, as I'm looking at it, for the final episode of Dragon Ball is the end, comma, the beginning. That is the name of the episode.
Yeah, it's a strange way to end it.
Interesting.
And then, but I guess it makes sense with how Z starts. It just feels abrupt and weird. Like the very end of the series, the last 5-ish episodes feel weird, like a weird way to end the series.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how all this goes for Goku, how all this goes for Brian.
I'm excited to start Z over again. It's
been
a long
definitely.
time.
I definitely won't pull the rug out and stop the podcast right before Z. Wink. I winked. There was an anime shot on my eye. Did I do it? Did I do
I'm so glad I spent a year and a half of my time.
Steve and I have a secret to tell you, Brian. This was a pretty cruel joke.
We just wanted to force you to watch Dragon Ball.
The Saw music starts playing. No. We'll continue. I'm having a blast. Well, next time, part 2 of the King Piccolo saga. Yeah, 112 through 122, guys. Look forward to it. Anime Shine. Did I do it another time? Feel a little bereft. Feel like I didn't get to do it as much this time. Feeling a little desperate to use this sound effect.
And scene.
And scene. And scene. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk improv class.
You've been listening to Cattywampus. You can follow us on Instagram at CattyWampusPod. Email us at cattywampuspodcast@gmail.com. Music by Tilly.